So I talk a lot about the nuances of manifestation now on my channel because that's where I'm at in my journey. That's where my teachings have evolved over time from my own experience, learning a lot of things the hard way. So you don't have to. Hey, I'm Cerise. I'm your self agency and manifestation mentor. Again, I help you decipher the nuances of manifestation from both the law of attraction and law of assumption to help you manifest smarter, not harder, because a lot of the information out there is either overcomplicated or oversimplified. And I've learned a lot of things the hard way, so you don't have to. But today I really wanted to strip it right back to the bare bones for anyone who's new to conscious manifestation. And I know that it can be very tempting when you start learning about manifestation to delve right into the law of assumption. That's kind of like the more popular one at the moment because law of attraction can be very vague. It's very feelings based. It's a feelings based manual for manifestation. Law of assumption is very thoughts based. And when you're anxious, you're already an overthinker. You're an analytical person, right? And that's because anxiety gets you caught on a negative feedback loop of thoughts and feeling out of control, which leads to that overthinking. And law of assumption appeals to someone, the thoughts based manual appeals to someone who's already an overthinker because the idea of just switching on a feeling is like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? And I get it. I actually completely shunned the idea of law of attraction altogether when I first came across law of assumption because it pissed me off that no one within law of attraction was really talking about how important the thoughts piece is. It was just, just believe. And well, belief needs to be built in some way. So, what are the practical ways to build that belief? But also, what I have learned is that you don't have to believe. You just have to not disbelieve. As soon as you disbelieve, you close off all the infinite ways that anything could be possible for you. You've closed them off completely. You've said it's impossible, which means in your experience, it can't be done. Whereas if you kind of, I always say the gateway drug to I am is maybe. If you can at least entertain the maybe of something, that is keeping the door ajar, even if it's just a little crack open for possibilities of how things can come about for you in line with what you want. It reminds me of the movie Angels in the Outfield. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's a great movie from the 90s. It's got Joseph Gordon Levitt in it. And there's another character who's like his foster brother in the movie. And what he always says in the movie is, it could happen.
Hey, it could happen.
I love that. That's very much like maybe being the gateway drug to I am or I have, right? So, do you need to believe? No, you just have to not disbelieve. And that can come about as simply as just choosing that things are different for you now. I am a different version of me now. Simply by saying that you're a different version of you, you automatically are because you're not accepting that the past version of you is all that you can be. The past version of you that couldn't have a hold on to the things that you want is all that could be, right? So simply choosing right in this moment that you are the version of you who gets to have what you want. You are not the version of you who couldn't have a hold on to things or be happy or whatever in the past. You are now right in this moment a different version of you just by nature of making that decision. But that can also go in two different ways, right? It could turn you into someone who, particularly if you come across the law of assumption and you don't address the things that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, when you simply go about it the mindset way, it could actually lead to you feeling worse and experiencing worse things than before you came across conscious manifestation or the law of assumption. Because you are like, okay, cool. I like the sound of this because it means I can control things. Finally, I used to feel out of control of my life and now I get to control everything. And manifestation is not about force, it's about flow. Can you will something into existence by going about things that way? Yes, you can, but they won't be sustainable because you're essentially still running off the physiological programming that you had before you were able to manifest that thing in, which will then push it back away from you. But also, that need for control can gradually increase your anxiety to points of getting to, physical and mental unwellness that can lead to burnout like it did for me. I talked about that in my toxic side of law of assumption video that I'll put in the end card for you if you haven't already watched it, so you can watch it after this video. But it can also go in the positive direction of like, okay, I don't have to do things the way I used to do them. Those things didn't serve me. Doing things that way didn't serve me. Reacting to things that way didn't serve me. Saying those things in moments like that didn't serve me. So I'm going to go about things differently and it can move you in a more positive direction. Now, I'm going to tell you in this video how you can get to the point of that being a lot easier without you having to overthink it. But ultimately, all you really need to do to manifest what you want is to decide that it is already yours. Choose that it is already yours, or at the very least, just decide that you are not the version of you that you used to be who couldn't have or hold on to those things anymore. Now, the reason why I have the manifestation cheat codes that will get you to that point of being able to decide and accept that and trust, like I call it the three churs because they don't all start with the same letter, but they start with the same sound. Getting to the point of choosing, trusting, and chilling, right? Which essentially just means being able to get to the point of saying, like, that's what I want, I can have it. Trusting that it's going to happen somehow, some way. You don't need to know how that's going to happen. Trust that you'll be taken along the path of least resistance and the most efficient path to your end goal, and enjoying your life in the meantime, right? Getting to that point of choosing, trusting, and chilling, that part can take a bit more work, especially when you have an emotional connection to your manifestation, which most of you do. When it's something you really want, you have an emotional connection to it. And that could mean tangible things as well, like a home, money, and things like that, not just people related manifestations. And that emotional connection that you have means that the emotion, the feelings have anchored that belief, right? And that's why it's been so difficult for you to have a hold on to the things that you want in the past. When you don't address the feelings piece, the law of attraction side of things, which I will give you more practical advice on than what you would typically hear when people talk about law of attraction, addressing the feelings piece is about a lot of things. It's about creating familiarity of having the thing that you want, because ultimately you want the thing because you want it to make you feel good, right? So when you start to associate a better feeling with the thing that you want instead of the anxiety ridden, desperate, lackful feeling of not having it with the thoughts of already having it, you're not going to create a cycle where it like comes and goes all the time. It's not sustainable. You start to trust more. Your mind, which is part of your nervous system, right? That's something that gets missed a lot. Talk about that in the videos that are going to be on the end card, so I won't go into that in depth here. But neuroscience, which is used a lot by people to prove that the law of assumption. Neuroscience is the study of the whole nervous system, which includes the brain, not just the brain. It's not just a study of the brain, it's the whole nervous system that includes the brain. So the reason you spiral on thoughts about the thing that you want is because you have anxiety associated with the thoughts of that thing, and that's creating that negative feedback loop. When you create familiarity and safety and comfort and a generally good feeling with the thing that you're thinking about already having, when it comes in, it doesn't feel like a shock to the system. It doesn't feel like it's attached to that anxiety of losing it or, not being able to have it. So you're less likely to self-sabotage it. So, that's nervous system regulation work, that which is one of my cheat codes. That's feel good things, doing things that are unrelated to your manifestation. That's one of my cheat codes. But it's also self-concept work, not just I am affirmations, but treating yourself how you want to be treated. And the more you do this, the more you put these things into practice, because they have an accumulative effect, right? So doing these things outside of when you feel bad to try and make yourself feel better, just doing those things every day, choosing something every day that falls in line with those cheat codes, because they work together synergistically. Each cheat code strengthens the others. Over time, you're going to find that it's a lot easier for you to just go, yeah, cool, that's what I want, it's mine. Trust without trying to fuck with the middle, to micromanage the how and the when, and to allow yourself to enjoy what's already showing up favorably in your world. So the chilling, right? Just living your life, fucking enjoying yourself. That's going to become more and more easy and more natural. And you're not going to have to think about doing those things at some point. It's going to become natural, because the more you reinforce that it's safe for you to do the things that feel good now and that they're not going to push away your manifestation, the more you trust yourself to just do those things and have that background knowing, deep set trust that it's all going to happen. All you need to do is choose that you are the version of you now that gets to have the thing. At the very least, that's all you need to do. You don't have to believe that you already have it or that you can have it. You just need to not close off all the possibilities of it being able to be possible for you. So again, you could use that one from Angels in the Outfield that's saying it could happen, or maybe it's possible. Impossible closes down every possibility. Leaving that door open just a crack is enough for things to start showing up in your world, where you can be like, okay, cool, I'm seeing it as a possibility, whether it's someone else experiencing it right now, which is actually me experiencing it. It's me experiencing someone else experiencing it, which means that I'm experiencing it. Therefore, I'm going to be experiencing it more closely as in myself in this experience, in this reality, in this simulation, this realm, this school like of life, whatever you want to think of it as. That's all part of it. But if when you make that choice, you feel anxious, you feel fearful, then that is when you know you can incorporate in the manifestation cheat codes to get you to a point of not obsessing, again, associating the more positive feelings with the thing, person, or situation you're manifesting in, and just getting into more of a trusting place. I give you practical ways of applying those cheat codes in these videos on my free platforms, right? But if you want more one-to-one guidance with me, the Cheat Code Academy is also launching in February. The no obligation to join waitlist is in the description below, and the waitlist tells you what the membership will entail, which will include 4 Q&As a month. So some months have 5 weeks, but there will be 4 every month. So some months I'll get a week off, okay? But the reason I'm doing that and not the one Q&A that you would normally get in a manifestation membership, definitely go compare it to others. I know that I've packed a lot of really good shit into this, is because for me, the purpose of a membership is to give you ongoing, regular guidance, right? So that we can build that ability to choose, trust, and chill more efficiently. And getting involved in the workshops and the challenges and the exclusive group of people within the membership and all those sorts of things are going to help keep your focus, your awareness on the right things. That is going to be a much better place to be going to, as opposed to stalking people on social media or, you know, constantly checking your 3D to see if things are happening. Only those on the waitlist will get a 50% off code on launch to not only join for the first month at 50% off, but also every month you decide to remain a member, you only pay 50% if you join as one of those founding members. But you have to be on the waitlist to get that code. Okay. You can, of course, cancel at any time. So yeah, compare to other memberships, check it out, compare it to what's on my waitlist. I've got all the bullet points of what it will entail. There will be more things. I have other ideas as well, but those things can't really be implemented until the membership grows more. But there's a lot of exciting opportunities that will be within the membership as well over time as the membership does grow. Those who join, obviously, in the first round get the added benefit of being part of the smallest group that will ever exist in the membership, which means more one-to-one guidance with me before more people join. If you implement the things that I tell you in this video, particularly my cheat codes, right? It's not the cheat codes that manifest, they just make it a lot easier to make sure that you get to your end goal before you get burnt out like I did, as well as the physical and mental unwellness that ended up coming about by solely focusing on the mindset piece. You will get to the point where things don't feel overwhelming. That even if they do feel overwhelming, as you want bigger, better, more for yourself, you are able to get yourself to a point where it starts to feel very neutral, right? Because the point of having your manifestation the way you want it to be actually doesn't feel like anxiety or excitement, which are two sides to the same coin. It just feels very cool, calm, collected, right? The novelty phase has worn off by that point. When it's the way you want it to be, you're not going to wake up every day being like, I'm rich. Yes, I have money, or yes, I'm in a relationship. Like, that's not how it's going to be every day. It's going to be like, yeah, it's natural for me to wake up next to the person that I love and am in a happy, healthy, long-term committed relationship with. Yeah, it's natural for me to not have to worry about money and to be able to, pay for the things and experiences that I want to have in my life. Yeah, it's natural for me to wake up to new bookings with my clients or new purchases of my products. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's natural for me to go to work with awesome people who respect me and my ideas and treat me really well and compensate me well for the work that I do to help make them money. Whatever it might be, apply it to whatever it is you're manifesting. That is going to become so natural to you. And even if, like I said, you do feel overwhelming initially as you decide to raise the bar a bit more, which will happen through your life as you manifest more and more things that you want, because you're manifesting based off what you believe you can actually have now. And the more you manifest those things in, the more you realize you can experience. It may start to bring up that anxiety or that feeling of overwhelm initially as you raise that bar, but you will have the tools with the cheat codes to be able to create that feeling of safety and familiarity in your physiology so that you can allow those things to come in. Because again, manifestation is not about force, it's about flow. It's just about remembering who the fuck you are, reminding yourself of that when you start to doubt, question, or forget it, and deciding that you get to have what you want. So if you got anything positive out of this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and or subscribe. It just helps push my videos out to more people. And if you'd like to help me with the algorithm by commenting below, but you don't know what to comment, just put a sparkle emoji, because we're creating literal real world fucking magic on this channel. Also, all the ways in which I can help you, from freebies all the way to one-to-one coaching and everything in between, like workshops, again, the Cheat Code Academy, subliminals, etc., are also linked in the description below. So if you're ready to choose to not be the version of you that couldn't have the things or hold on to the things that you want in the past, let me know in the comments below by claiming it.